Hello everyone, welcome to our second module, Introduction to Reinforced Concrete. So let's start to our lecture by defining the reinforced concrete. By definition, reinforced concrete is a composite material in which concrete's relatively low tensile strength and ductility are contracted by the inclusion of reinforcement having higher tensile strength or ductility. In this picture, we can see the steel bars, as I indicate right here, going out of the concrete. We call those steel bars reinforcement, and the term reinforced concrete actually comes from there. We are adding the reinforcement into steel actually to increase the tensile strength of concrete. As we will discuss in the upcoming modules, concrete's compressive strength is quite high, and the problem with it is its low tensile strength. By placing those steel bars, actually we are increasing the tensile strength of the material. So you will be asking, what are the ingredients to make a concrete? Well, concrete is composed of cement, sand, aggregate, water, and admixtures. Each of those ingredients has their own purpose to be added in the mix. To start with, the most expensive ingredient of concrete is cement. Of the various types of cements, Portland cement is the most commonly used one. Portland cement actually contains calcium and aluminum silicates. One of the other materials that is added to concrete is the aggregate. Aggregate is mainly used in concrete to reduce the amount of cement paste and thus decrease the cost because, as we have mentioned, cement is the most expensive part. Aggregate is also necessary since it reduces the volume change of concrete. Volume changes beyond our expectations and calculations lead to huge problems in the construction site. Therefore, aggregate is also an important material in the mix. As we mentioned, we are also adding water to the concrete mix. Water is necessary for the chemical reaction of cement. Without any chemical reaction, we would not be having any concrete. But the important part, the amount of water used for concrete is actually usually greater than the amount needed for a chemical reaction. So, what is this extra water is needed for? Well, this extra water is necessary for the workability of the mix. A concrete is said to be workable if it is easily transported, placed, compacted, and finished without any segregation. To measure the workability, there is a test called slump test. The concrete slump test actually measures the consistency of fresh concrete before it sets. It is performed to check the workability of freshly made concrete, and therefore the ease with which the concrete flows. So in this slide, we have plotted 28-day compressive strength of concrete against the water to cement ratio. This water to cement ratio is abbreviated as W to C ratio as well. So, what are the requirements to understand this plot? Well, this plot shows the strength of concrete increases with decreasing water to cement ratio. However, we need to be careful about using very low water to cement ratios, since this might cause problems in the workability of the mix, as we have mentioned in the previous slides. Another information that we can gather from this plot is the 28-day compressive strength term. In reinforced concrete, we designate the compressive strength of concrete at its 28-day compressive strength. which is one of the key informations that you need to know. Well, so in our last slide, we will be discussing the other requirements for a concrete mix. First of all, concrete mix should be designed mainly to obtain the required strength and workability. Durability and permeability are the other requirements for an adequate mix as well. And as I have mentioned, and this is one of the most important parts of the course actually, very low water to cement ratios cause problems during transportation of concrete, and you may end up in segregation. Segregation is a serious problem, and we must avoid it at all costs. This marks the end of this lecture. Go over this lecture again, revise the notes, and if you have any questions, post it to the Q&A forum of the course. See you in the next lectures.